Dale Earnhardt Jr. knows the next-gen car. He's talked about it for years on his podcast. But more importantly, he's been inside of it. In the accelerated number of test sessions in the last few months leading up to its debut, he was the one person who had the most on-track behind-the-wheel time in the new car, outside of any Cup Series driver. He tested it at Bowman Gray Stadium. He also tested it at Daytona. Inside of Alex Bowman's car, he was one of the first drivers to make laps at the LA Memorial Coliseum, participating in a promotional piece for NBC's Super Bowl pregame show. In all those sessions, when Earnhardt wasn't inside the car, he was talking to everyone about the car. Mechanics, engineers, drivers. He was in a unique position to provide feedback as well as receive it. While the Clash at the Coliseum was an exhibition on a track smaller than anything we'll see this year, it provided valuable feedback to the teams in the form of data. On the plus side, it showed that the carbon fiber bodies can stand up to the beating and banging typical on a short track. But it wasn't all good. Chase Briscoe had a driveline issue. Tyler Reddick suffered a damaged prop shaft. Denny Hamlin had power steering issues. All of them were major failures, taking them out of the race. On Sunday's official opening of the season at the Daytona 500, those types of issues didn't recur. However, something much more concerning did. Not once, but twice, when Kaz Grala and Justin Haley had serious wheel issues. In Grala's case, his entire wheel came off and went dangerously bounding down the track. For Haley, his wheel broke and the tire came off. While Fox's Mike Joy joked about the situation, he also noted how NASCAR doesn't think loose wheels or tires bouncing down the track at high speeds is a laughing matter. This week, both crew chiefs were suspended 4 weeks for the serious infraction. Make no mistake about it, there's a very good reason NASCAR dishes out such a stiff penalty. It's because of past similar situations, which ended in death. Fans know when they buy a ticket that they willingly accept the risk when attending a race. They know debris from a crash can land in the stands. Michael Jordan and Bubba Wallace had this exact experience last Saturday at Daytona, during the Xfinity Series race with Myatt Snider's violent crash late in the race. In that case, the catch fence sufficiently protected the fans, but also clearly revealed that there is room for improvement. But catch fences can only be so tall. They aren't designed to catch loose wheels that can be hit by another car traveling at high speeds and propelled high into the stands. The 1987 Indianapolis 500 is a perfect example, when a 41-year-old man was killed after being hit by an airborne wheel. Unbelievably, he was sitting in the top row of the grandstands. It's safe to assume NASCAR is diligently working with teams to avoid any more loose wheels and prevent this type of tragedy from happening in the future. This week on the Dale Jr. Download, Earnhardt reviewed the Daytona 500 and talked about the wheel concerns. He also offered an ominous warning about the car in the coming weeks and cautioned fans not to overreact.
Or something. I mean, there's probably going to be some part failures or things that need to be beefed up, and NASCAR will have to go to these entities that are selling whatever part it is and have to redesign it or improve the design on it. And I think that they'll try to get those parts out as quick as possible. But we're going to see completely different loads, and the car will be stressed in different ways when we go to these next several racetracks than what we saw at Daytona. So I think we all need to be prepared, for this to be a little bit of a process, right? Working the bugs out of this car and finding flaws in it, right, that need fixing. So don't everybody get all alarmed when something does become a reoccurring issue, right? It's just I think it might be too much for us to expect them to design a car that's completely flawless right out of the gate. It's going to have its problems. But
Earnhardt is right. With anything new, there will always be bugs that need to get worked out. Fans should be patient, at least with the part failures that don't present potential harm to drivers or themselves. If there are, God forbid any more loose wheels, the first hope is no one gets injured. The second is NASCAR will do a serious assessment on the wheels. NASCAR has a lot of momentum, and there's an excitement around the sport that hasn't been seen in years. A lot of that can be attributed to the next-gen car. But that could all vanish if another wheel gets loose and goes into the stands.